I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to call this Ryan on Gaming topic. I don't know what the label is going to be, how I'm going to write it on YouTube or whatnot, but it's a current event, PlayStation Now. The PlayStation Now open beta has recently started on PlayStation 4, and, you know, it's a big talking point. There's a lot of things to discuss regarding the service. There's a lot of issues with it currently, but there's a lot of things that can go into this, right? PlayStation Now could be amazing. It could be, right? I mean, that's always the thing, right? There's always potential in any kind of service or product or whatever anybody's trying to do. If some kid's trying to ride a bike, there's potential there. He could probably do it, because most people can. So, of course, the current problem with PlayStation Now is why, and especially at those prices. You know, Sony has a really weird setup right now where it's like you can only rent games, you can only rent them. There's no ownership process involved at all in terms of spending, you know, paying one price and then owning the game for the rest of, you know, the service. You can either rent it for 4 hours or 1 day, I think, or is it 3 days, and then 7 days, and then 30 days, and then 90 days, but not every game offers those amount of days, and of course the prices are absolutely outrageous, from $4 for 4 hours upwards to $50 for 90 days, which is the most heinous thing in the world. Like, why would anybody ever do that? I mean, right now, as the service stands, yeah, why would you ever even touch the damn thing? The only caveat to that is that there is, you know, there's a point of it that doesn't make sense. The 7-day rental. 7-day rental seems pretty on par for most games, right? I mean, it works out to like what, 90 something, like $1 to 90 cents a day for most games that have a 7-day rental option, which, I mean, I think actually seems pretty fair. If you want to rent a game for a week and spend maybe $6-7, that's fine. Now, of course, there's always the comparison to be made to, say, Steam. I mean, Steam has fantastic, you know, sales and bundles and everything, and it's like you spend $3 and you get 37,000 games. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty tough to challenge. I mean, Steam is Steam. It's fantastic, right? So PlayStation Now, I mean, it's not a matter of reaching Steam prices, but certainly, you know, be more affordable. But the huge thing that everyone wants, of course, is a subscription price, right? You want one price per month, per year, and you get access to every single title. I think that's what a lot of people want, and that's ideally what PlayStation Now could be, and where the most success could come out of it, right? Certainly, people love PlayStation Plus. People love Netflix. People love Hulu. People love Amazon Prime. These are all subscription services. No one likes to just do the one-time 2-day shipping fee. No one really likes to, as far as I know, not many people do the DVD sending thing with Netflix anymore. Hulu doesn't even offer a per title thing, do they? I mean, you see what I'm driving at, right? Subscriptions are good if you find value in that subscription service. So, of course, PlayStation Now could be really awesome with a subscription service. But there's the problem is, I mean, Sony's going to have a huge uphill battle in terms of trying to actually work a subscription service into PlayStation Now. Now, currently, Sony has openly said they are working towards creating one. They want to make a subscription price. But there's so many things they need to fix regarding that, and just title-by-title rentals, you know? I mean, these two things can coexist. You can have a subscription price, and you can do a per-title thing. But currently, I mean, as we've discussed already, the per-title prices are absolutely insane. I mean, like the 4-hour rental. Get rid of that. What the hell is that even for? Not even 50 cents is kind of even low enough to kind of justify 4 hours. I don't know. 4 hours just seems completely redundant and stupid. Get rid of it. I don't know. I mean, if it were up to me, I would just do like the week-by-week thing. When you start going higher, like upwards to 30 days, 90 days, 60 days, again, at that point, it's like, why don't you just own the game? Because you wouldn't even be that far off, again, from retail prices or the price that you pay digitally for a downloadable game. Again, the whole point of rental is it has to be extremely affordable. Otherwise, if you're spending those kind of prices, again, you might as well just own. But the big question is, why? Why would I use PlayStation Now? Now, obviously, people would say, oh, well, you can use it on your PlayStation 4. That's how you can play PS3 games. Or, you know, your Vita. When PlayStation Now comes to Vita, you can play PS3 games on your Vita. And even, hey, I mean, maybe sometimes possibly could make sense for PS3. But again, it's like, the big question is, why, especially at those prices, you don't own the games. Now, I think one thing a lot of people are really overlooking about PlayStation Now is the immediacy of it. People keep forgetting that this is a service where you instantly play the game. In a, you know, how many years now we've been dealing with installs, download times, what's the other one? Patches, downloading patches, firmware updates. It's all about waiting and downloading and everything. People keep forgetting that there's immediacy with PlayStation Now. When you are done with that transaction, you can immediately start playing that game. That's pretty nice, especially if you've got an extremely affordable price of entry where it's like $3 for maybe a, you know, 7-day rental. That would actually be, I would totally do that for certain games, you know, and I'm sure many people would. You wouldn't pay $4 for 4 hours, certainly. That's where it's like, again, completely just off the walls stupid. I mean, so there is practicality to the per title basis. With the right prices and, you know, the convenience factor, it makes sense. And again, prices I think is very important when it comes to a per title thing. Now, when you go into a subscription service, that's where Sony, I know right now, is having an extremely tough time. And there's many ways to kind of compare it. For example, PlayStation Plus. A lot of people think Sony just gives away those free games and the developers give away those free games and that's just how it works. No, I mean, Sony pays for every title that is on PlayStation Plus if they're giving it away for free. If something is free on PlayStation Plus and you download it, Sony paid for it. They pay per title, or they might have a bulk payout, or they might have a one-time payout to that developer, and then there's unlimited downloads. I would assume that there is a per license agreement for each game, but Sony is definitely paying for every title that is free on PlayStation Plus, without a doubt. And that's what Netflix does. Netflix has, I believe, a number of ways to get movies onto their service, whether it's they pay per movie streamed, or it's a one-time fee for unlimited downloads, or for unlimited streaming. Again, it's kind of like a per publisher thing, and games are a much different beast than movies. Some games are 10 hours long, some games are 60 hours long, and that's why a lot of publishers currently on PlayStation Now are setting extremely heinous prices, like, well, we know people are going to finish our game in possibly 5 or 6 hours, so we have to charge to make that money up. Because those, as we're being told, these prices are being set by the publishers themselves and not Sony in particular. Sony has some input. They probably set some minimum prices, but and maximum prices, but I don't think they have complete control over that because it's not their games. There's a lot of third-party games on PlayStation Now. So, like, you know, the closest thing we can kind of compare this with is PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus is $50 a year, and you get what is it right now? 6 free games if you own all 3 platforms. You get 2 free Vita games a month, or is it 4? And then, you know, 2 or 4 free PS3 games, 2 or 4 free PS4 games throughout the month. And, you know, Sony pays for every one of those games, and that's $50 a month. Now, PlayStation Now, huge catalog. That's over 100 games right now. So a one-time subscription fee for access to all those games, who knows what that could be? Who knows how Sony's going to work that out? You got to keep in mind, Sony's a business, so sure, they would like you they would like to offer you a one subscription price. They would like you to join the service, but I mean, they have to work it out in their favor so that they still earn money off of it, and that's not necessarily going to be easy, especially in the games industry because, again, you got all these different publishers, you've got all these different games that have different play times, different genres. You know, I mean, working with EA might be difficult now because of EA Access. We recently talked about that on PlayStation. Let's Talk PlayStation. It's just going to be a real uphill battle, because I know right now Sony is definitely trying to work out that subscription service, and they are probably having some headaches trying to figure this out, trying to talk to everybody, trying to figure out, you know, what one price are people willing to pay every month or every year, and, you know, so what is that price that people will pay, and how will we still be able to earn money off of it? And I bet they're not doing well trying to find that number. But there's still a number of issues with PlayStation Now, namely some things that are kind of out of Sony's control when it comes to perhaps internet speeds. You know, not everyone's going to have a great internet speed to use PlayStation Now. There might be some latency for people, and then that right there, even if they like the subscription prices, even if they like the per title prices, if they don't have the good enough internet, they're not going to be able to use the service, and they're not going to, you know, that's just a lost sale at that point. And that's kind of the reason why Sony's fallen behind a little bit on trying to expand PlayStation Now to other territories, and why they currently consider it open beta right now, because they still want to figure it out in terms of trying to lower the latency, and again, fix prices, and of course, the subscription fee like we've been talking about for how many minutes now. There's a lot of issues with this, but the whole thing about it is, and how we started this conversation is, there's potential. But I think there's big potential in this. Certainly the kind of potential where it's like, you know, it's like, this could be insanely huge, but at the same time, to get there, it's going to be like climbing Mount Everest. So there's a lot of places where this could go wrong. And, you know, Sony has dropped the ball on a lot of things in the past. I mean, this company has been on kind of a decline the past 10 years in terms of their products and their... I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to, like, diss their products or anything. You guys know I openly criticize Sony in a constructive manner. They make fantastic products, but they don't have the best business ethics sometimes, and they lose money on a lot of stuff. But you understand the point I'm trying to get at. So they say they do drop the ball sometimes, so they might drop it with PlayStation Now. Who knows? But this could be something huge, right? I mean, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, these are, and PlayStation Plus now. That was an uphill battle for Sony. A lot of people did not like PS Plus when it started. Now it's something really big, and it's something that they're requiring for PS4, you know, to play online on PS4. And a lot of people are openly okay with that because it's a good service and people are really enjoying it. So all these services are successful. They make money, consumers love them, and PlayStation Now could join that elite force of subscription services. If it's going to actually happen, that's up to Sony. I guess that's it. I guess this is the end of the video. Man, sometimes YouTubers, it's hard to end videos. You gotta find the right balance. When's the right time to end a video, and how do you end the video? How do you do it so the person leaves that video feeling enriched, like I enriched their lives, like, man, that was a really awesome video. I just noticed I got a text message, so I was looking over there, and now I'm completely thrown off, and now I'm just talking about absolutely nothing. So I guess I'm gonna end the video. See you later.